Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. 5 wins in a row. I forgot, I got my camera on. Hello. Hello, it's me. So I was just checking, I was like, am I on the right scene? I am indeed on the right scene. I'm not used to... Hello. I'll turn myself off in a moment here. Not much of a problem, just take my shirt off and look in the mirror. X4HG, HVQ4. How did this happen? Well, the seed is good. Let's start there. We did GeoGuessr on stream. On GeoGuessr, I used the scene that I use for Isaac because I don't want to... I need to make sure that my camera's not to the side. It needs to be at the bottom so that I don't cover anything up. And then I forgot to turn it off. So there you go. That's how we got here. In case you were wondering, well, how did we get here? Is that 2 Isaac videos in a row where my face has made an appearance? Look at that. That's like in a Marvel movie where they drop like a little reference to Adam Warlock or something. Most people are like, I don't really understand that part, but some people are like, this is a momentous occasion, dude. Anyway, how we doing today? Doing well. It's a Thursday. It's a hot one that may or may not be 7 inches from the midday sun. Why do you think they use 7 inches for that song? Not trying to, you know, be weird. I'm just curious. Just curious. Are they saying something about Rob Thomas? Hey, what if Smooth featuring Carlos Santana and Rob Thomas? Rob Thomas? What if instead of Rob Thomas, it was Rob Zombie? Or Rob Ford? Look, don't get mad at me. The song came out in like 1999. You can't get mad at me. About the statute of limitations is over. Regardless, it's a good day. This is my brief solace. The rest of my day, my plan is to finish this video, get some lunch, perhaps a nice chicken breast, and we are going to forget me now here, on a bed of salad greens. But they'll be like good sides with it, like maybe some curried cauliflower or something like that. Yeah, I say cauliflower, okay? Get over it. Go back to your nuclear family. Guppy's collar, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. And then Dark Souls 2 DLC, pretty much universally agreed upon by the Souls community to be the worst Souls content ever made. We're making our way through it, and by that I mean banging our head against it until it eventually works, maybe. But once it's done, oh baby, once it's done, it's done, it's done. Okay. Now, what do we need here? I'm trying to think. We got a good run going on. HP is really our strong suit right now, so if we could get a Spirit Heart to protect our next floor's deal with the devil, oh, that would be sick. That would be sick. We are like, I've been, as mentioned I think yesterday, it's been a real busy week. Baby furniture that has taken a long time to ship all arrived at once. So we built that dresser like 2 nights ago, and we built the crib yesterday. I'm happy to report that it turns out a baby needs a lot of stuff, but you know, in terms of stuff that actually needs to be constructed, not that much. Pretty much those are the 2 things. And I gotta tell you, like when I put together our, you know, the dressers and the bookshelves and stuff that we have, I took great care with it. Because mostly I've realized that, you know, if you try to rush building furniture from IKEA or wherever, that usually just makes it take longer. You know, if you're like, it doesn't really matter what screw I use for this, in all likelihood, that was dumb. In all likelihood, you're going to possibly increase the chance that you're going to make a mistake. Come on, don't screw me on this one. They didn't screw me too bad on that one, at least. You're going to increase the chance that you make a mistake. Which is maybe going to lead to you having to, like, unscrew all this stuff and put it back together. Hey, that's pretty nice, too. Which is going to amp up your time. So I was very careful when I put together, like, our domestic furniture for stuff like that. But I have never taken as much care as I've taken in the construction of a furniture item as the bed where my newborn infant will sleep. That's one that you definitely want to make sure you're like, I crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's on that one. But it seems like it is good and it is constructed. It's also insane to me. Apparently, it has a weight limit of 100 kilograms. Which, for those of you who know what a kilogram is and can conceptualize it, that's a heavy baby. And it can technically, like, expand and then fit a child as old as 3. But, like, even for a 3-year-old to weigh 100 kilograms is kind of insane. But then, if you don't know what a kilogram is, I would think of it like 100 kilograms is like 225 pounds. So, you know, you're dealing with the... Hold on, why did... Oh, this got slowed because of the broken watch, that's right. You're dealing with a large baby. Honestly, I'll level with you. That's a baby where they're calling the shots. If they want to feed, I can't stop them. Okay, this is not a good start. The danger always with me is that just be cool on this one. I actually, believe it or not, I willfully chose to take the hit from that half heart to save us from possibly walking into Bomb City. But obviously, we would have preferred to have not lost 2 full HP near the start of this one. That's okay. We have so much HP we can let it ride a little bit. The big negative here is going to be probably / possibly missing out on the deal with the devil. But we knew that that was a possibility as soon as we didn't get a spirit heart to back us up, right? And then here, I chose to save our bomb. I really do want to get a tinted rock. But I also thought, you know, if we're going up against, like, Champ Ragman or something like that, that's an example, and we haven't done it much on this run, but that's an example of trying to do the little things right. One bomb against, like, a super annoying champion Ragman could definitely be the difference between, you know, happiness and discomfort. No deal with the devil. It's alright, there's always next floor. And on top of all this, this run is actually really good. Even with the 2.04 damage. I don't know if this is a controversial take, but I would say, historically, at least recently for me in Isaac, I sweat low rate of fire, or I guess, you know, let's just call them bad tears. I sweat bad tears way more than I sweat bad damage. That's obviously a great get. that validates my position, although it would be intellectually dishonest to say, like, see? I'm not the kind of guy that's like an I told you so guy when it comes to that. I'm the kind of guy who's like, I want to apologize because my point was made so well. Alright, I mean, should have used this differently for sure. But Hagalaz is at least worth pulling out to try to use here. Yeah, because you never know when you might need 3 spiders, for example. This is definitely our secret room. What does Dad's ring do? Dad's ring, Isaac. Petrifies enemies on contact. That's right, that's right. That's worth a bomb and a key. Does mean we probably won't be able to get a spirit heart. Well, no, maybe might still be able to get a spirit heart. Oh, baby. Although a nickel would really... Okay, fine, sure. Could have bought the... Well, no, actually, buying the playing card and then hoping for 2 of diamonds would have left us with a maximum yield of 2 cents. So, I think this is good. Now we'll have a good chance to get a deal with the devil on the next floor, but everything is pretty okay. Just love... So I searched for something Isaac related. What does Dad's ring do? And then, like, I can see... One of the top search results is the Isaac subreddit, and I can see all threads related to Dad's ring. Farming secret room items is torturous. Look, I agree. If you're trying to fill out that post-it note, I definitely do not disagree. I understand your frustration immensely. I've been there, I don't know, 3 times. Anyway, so we got all the furniture built. It's nice. The Canucks had a game last night. They lost 4-1, and it was, I mean, I'm not a rabid sports fan to begin with. Like, I'm not one of those sports fans you gotta worry about, if you know what I mean. You ever see the movie Big Fans, starring Patton Oswalt? Anyway, I'm not one of those guys. But even still, you know, if it was like a regular season game and the Canucks lost 4-1, I would be like, ah, man, bummer. I might even, you know, go to the mega thread and be like, what? I wouldn't post probably, but I'd read comments that are like, what is Travis Green doing? Travis Green's our coach. And I would nod in my head. I would be like, uh-huh, this guy knows what they're talking about. And then I would look at their post history and be like, maybe not. Anyway, but I was just so pleased that hockey was on. That even a relatively boring loss was a huge win on the day. Just happy to have it back. We don't need to make this another sports episode. We talked about sports a little bit recently. I will say, if you're one of those people, though, that's like, please stop talking about sports. You had, like, a huge window. Maybe, like, the longest window you've ever had in your life of no sports talk. Or very limited sports talk. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. It may be changing, I don't know. So Marrow is not the one that we can break for Tears Up. Oh my god. Dude, I told you! It's a new day, but the Brimstone is still popping. Of course I'm gonna take it. In what universe would I not take it? We also have a really good chance to become Guppy. So I'm not saying this is one of those runs where making a mistake has worked well for us, but you might be saying it's one of those runs. Dude, I gotta tell you. So what are my opinions on Dark Souls 2? I've said it before, because I've been playing this game for 3 freaking months now. When Dark Souls 2 came out, I had the opinion, and I beat the base game of Dark Souls 2 probably like at least 8 or 9 times, genuinely. It used to be kind of like a nightly, like, pseudo routine for me. You know, I would like finish work, and I'd be like, oh, I'll start up a new Dark Souls 2 build, and then I would, you know, I don't know, maybe on night 1, like, beat the Ruined Sentinels, and then on night 2, you get some serious momentum, and then, you know, halfway through night 3, you're like, okay, I beat the final boss. But the addition of all the other stuff in Scholar and the DLC, and then playing it through after playing, you know, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Dark Souls 1 Remastered, and Dark Souls 3 has made me realize that I was a fool. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it is a really poor Souls game that, I'm happy with my current trinket supplier. I think it's a really bad Souls game that would be otherwise, like, a decent character action game if it was not called Souls, but within the Souls oeuvre is pretty low on the list. I've had fun with it. I like some of the bosses. Some of the bosses, admittedly, are just, you know, 20 skeletons, but some of the bosses are kind of interesting for sure. But I'm gonna be, oh man, I'm just in my head, I'm like, what's it gonna be like to have that Thursday solo stream back? There's been so much, like, variety stuff that I've missed out on playing. Everybody wants to see, like, Death Stranding, and don't get me wrong, and by everybody I mean a small percentage of people who are vocal, and I actually kind of agree that I think it would be a really fun stream game. But everybody wants to see Death Stranding, or at least that's the scuttlebutt. Death Stranding's coming up next. I don't know if it'll come up next immediately, because I miss having that flexibility, that variety, to be like, hey, you know, over the last month, 4 cool new Steam games have come out that I'd like to play. You know, hey, maybe we'll start with a little, you know, Monster Train Heck Rush run, follow that up with like a little Skater XL, and, you know, after that, who knows? Maybe that Nintendo Switch version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with the Battle Royale mode that doesn't come out in North America until November. I want that variety spot back. I'm really like, especially because obviously, you know, Kate's, at the time of this recording, Kate's almost 31 weeks pregnant out of a, you know, an expected pregnancy length of 40 weeks, which is like, you know, you can plan stuff in the short term. Because, you know, It could happen any day, but the odds of it happening any day are pretty low. But once we get up to like 36 weeks, I would not make any short-term plans. I would prepare, I would keep your schedule pretty clear on that one. You know what? Hold on, I got an idea. You kick. Oh, I thought it was gonna work for us and everything, dude. Well, if this is where we're at, I think we just leave then. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I definitely, I'm again, great minds think alike. I'm not suggesting I created the idea for this, but while I was playing through all the Souls games, as I have been this year, I said, man, you know what would be really cool? And I know that there's the roguelite mod. Feel free to at me about the roguelite mod. I would love to give it a try, but I understand it's a little buggy right now. But I said, you know what would be cool? I really like Dark Souls, but as a franchise. So let's call it Soulsborne, even though it's a little clumsy. No more clumsy than Metroidvania, I suppose. But my favorite element of Soulsborne is the bosses by far. I don't mind, like, some of the environments are really cool. Some of the enemy encounters are really cool. And the lore is what it is, you know? I like it. I think it gets judged fairly because it's so mysterious that it holds up to, yeah, we can do it. It holds up to scrutiny because of the fact that so few people scrutinize it. You know, when you only, it's like the Damon Lindelof school of writing, at least back in the day. You know, if you only give people a few breadcrumbs of mystery, everybody's like, this is the greatest story ever written. If you start to answer the questions, people are like, yawn. See you later, Damon. But the bosses, for me, that's it. So I had prognosticated, or at least suggested, man, you know what would be sick? What about a boss rush mode that took like all the bosses from Souls, put them in a game, separated them and stratified them by, like, you know, the tier of their difficulty. And then you would, like, fight a boss, get an upgrade, you know, maybe a new weapon, maybe some Titanite for your existing weapon. I guess we should buy something on the cheap side here, or maybe explore a little bit and buy tarot cloth. It's fine. And then, From Software was like, hey, we're releasing a new mode for Sekiro where you can actually do boss rush. And it's going to be a free update that comes out in like October. It's cool stuff. Will I revisit it right then? I don't know. I got plans in September, October. But we'll see. I'd like to for sure. I mean, I'm planning on playing Sekiro again on stream at some point. So that would definitely be on the list for when we do it. Without a doubt. I just think it's a cool idea. And then I saw, like, a lot of the people, I don't know, I find that the replies to video game companies on Twitter are extremely hilarious. Because I feel like half of them are just unbridled, like, foaming at the mouth anger over anything. Especially if it's a perceived slight. It's like, I'll never forget this. I'm 17 now, but even when I'm 80, I'll be like, I hate you for adding in this alternate Spider-Man costume into the game. But, and then the other half are like, nothing you do could ever be wrong. I love you in your games. Please, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I was laughing because, like, some of them were like that, thank you From Software. Which is nice, actually, you know, to work hard on an update, I'm sure, and then have people be like, thank you. But then one of the replies was like, don't get me wrong. I think this is a really cool idea, and I'm excited to play it. But don't you think it's a little bit late? And I just wanted to be like, dude, just shut up. just like, shut up and, like, run it through in your head. That you're like, you didn't even know it was coming. It's an unexpected gift. And you're like, thanks, Grandma. But where was this 6 months ago? I don't know, man. I'm not trying to get too riled up over just one person who may legitimately be like 14 years old, kind of being engaging in some needlessly pedantic discourse on Twitter. But I was just like, why say that, you know? Hey, I'm really excited about this, but I would have been more excited about it if it came out 16 months ago. Okay, good for you. Now everybody knows that you're the guy where when good things happen, you look for... I already had it on that floor, huh? When good things happen... Yeah, I mean, we all know somebody like this in real life, right? And we have all maybe been this guy at some point. Whenever there's bad news, there's always some guy in your circle of friends who's like, yeah, you know, there's airborne, you know, murder hornets in our area, but at the same time, think of the pollination, you know? Hornets don't pollinate. I hope you'll forgive me with the lazy metaphor here. And there's always some guy who's like, you know, hey, we found like a cure for a terrible disease. We'll be like, yeah, but it's gonna take a little while to distribute it to everybody. There's always somebody, you know, there's some people, they exist exclusively in the margins. Where, you know, when they hear good news, they're like, you know what, this is a great opportunity for me to bring everybody down and appear smarter as a result. And when they hear bad news, they're like, this is a great opportunity for me to, be like, hey, your negative emotions are invalid because of the fact that not all of it is bad. I mean, sure, people are getting sick, but think of the effect on the housing prices. That guy. You're probably saying that guy's you. No, it's not. On occasion, okay, but not on the regular. Most of the time, I'm like an uh-huh guy. Very much so. People are like, I hate this, and I'm like, uh-huh. They're like, what do you think about it? And I'm like, I don't know, I hadn't really given it that much thought, honestly. Just kind of waiting and see. I mean, you seem very passionate about it, which is like, in some ways cool, and in some other ways, depending on the issue, occasionally quite troubling. But either way, basically, I'm just going to smile and nod, and not create any sandpaper on this interaction, so that we can avoid some conflict. I love, the best part of getting Humbling Bundle is being able to see where lucky pennies are more easily. I stand by it. I really do, and you'll laugh because this is not how we do it on the show at all, but in real life, outside of my very close friends, the majority of my communication style is just designed to avoid conflict. Which I think, depending on where you're at in your life, might seem passive or maybe even cowardly. It's not the case. In fact, I would say that I have a rigorous dedication to my own principles. However, if somebody in, you know, in real life that, you know, they're a friend of a friend and I know I'll never meet them again, if they're saying some ignorant stuff, I might be like, yeah, I don't know about all that. Most of the time, though, I don't take it upon myself to argue with them. I wait until we get in our car and I go, man, screw that guy. And then, I guess we're out. And then I never speak to them again. And I honestly, I don't know, I kind of think that's the mature way to go about things. I very rarely get into interpersonal scuffles. I think that in principle, when people think about that stuff, they go, well, that's just how you end up surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. Well, yes and no. Like, I would say that I don't have the same opinions as all of my friends, but even beyond that, have you looked like on the internet in 2020? When was the last time that you think a human being changed their mind in response to being argued with? I'm not saying it never happens, but I do feel like more than ever we're kind of set in our ways. So my current principle is self-preservation, and for my own sanity. And it's not, I'm not like, well, you know, well, I like whole wheat bread. I like white bread. Get out! You know, it's not like that. So I'm talking about more serious stuff. You know, like for example, this is a genuine hypothetical. But if one of my friends, you know, mid-pandemic was like, hey, you want to like go out to a bar and hang out? By the way, I won't be wearing a mask at all. I would be like, really? How interesting. Well, in principle we could, but oops, I blocked you. Maybe I wouldn't block them. I don't know. I mean, I don't have that many friends to begin with by choice. So, you know, we're talking. I've already self-selected that pool, I think. You've heard me talk in the past. It's like, you know, if there is a positive to quarantine, is that I have a great excuse to not go out when I don't want to go out almost ever to begin with anyway. But regardless, that's why I'm like, you know, sometimes people are like, yeah, what if you were walking down the street with your wife and some dude said some ignorant stuff to her? I would be like, what would you do? I would be like, hey, don't say that. And then if they still said it, I would be like, let's go home to our house with our nice things and laugh about those dudes on the street. Not because they're on the... Look, in my head, they weren't homeless, okay? They were just... I don't know. They were like construction workers or something. Oh, NL, you think all construction workers are catcallers? No, I didn't really mean it like that. Oh, you think the only people who catcall are construction workers? I'll have you know that. I didn't mean it like that either, okay? I regret saying it. We're fighting Mama Gertie. Spare me, okay? Here we go. I don't think anyone's going to get upset about the hypothetical that we created there. Because you can't get upset, because I'll just change the terms of the hypothetical to fit my point. And now that's one heck of a deal with the devil. That's one heck of a deal with the devil. You know, they say that the best revenge is a life well lived. I agree. That being said, do you ever feel like sometimes, and I'm talking about like pretty small, like petty crime stuff. Like, do you ever feel like sometimes our laws protect people that behave badly? Now, this is not me trying to get like super woke or anything, but just hear me out here, okay? Because we have a situation like in our building, somebody keeps leaving dog poop around, and we're talking about like, you know, with the HOA and the council and stuff like that. Like, can we access the security footage to see whose dog is leaving this stuff around? And there's currently a debate over whether or not that's an infringement of privacy. That might actually, like, I think that if a genuine like felony is committed, you can turn the footage over to the police. But if it's just like a nuisance, I'm not sure if it's possible. Which is way different, because like in my head, I always thought like if you... Like, in my head, I was like, if I had a dog and the dog peed somewhere they weren't supposed to pee, immediately, because I've watched too much CSI, in my head, it's, like, they're sending that to the lab. They're gonna be like, this is Labrador urine, and then they're gonna get me. But, like, here's the thing. I feel like if somebody on the street said some ignorant stuff to you, and you punched them in the face and broke their nose, you would be charged with assault, and people would be like, yeah, they're a jerk, but you can't do that. I kind of, look, I don't know, it's a dangerous, perhaps a slippery slope. But I do sort of think, in terms of first principles, if somebody's being an a-hole, and then you say, as your first line of defense, hey, that's not cool, don't be an a-hole, and then they keep being verbally abusive, I think you should get, like, a free pass. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't really thought about how I feel about it so far. But here's the thing. In some ways, I think society, if anything... should you face a debt to society for causing physical harm to somebody in that situation? Maybe. But haven't you also done society a benefit by making that a-hole think twice about the next time he wants to be an a-hole in public? Maybe it comes out in the wash. Now, because, I mean, I've been thinking about this, right? Because, and we've talked about it on the show before. This is something that I think, before you listen to me on these subjects, you should definitely listen to, like, a, you know, a childhood educator or, like, I don't know, like a cognitive scientist or something. But I definitely grew up in an era where, you know, if you were getting bullied, in all likelihood, your mom was going to be like, don't worry, you know, just take the abuse for, like, 14 years, and then eventually maybe you'll be their boss. I hate to say it, but that is the discourse I heard. Now, I wasn't really bullied, you know, for the most part. Teased a little bit, maybe, but... so I can't even, like, you know, have stolen valor for this, but... You know, I definitely, I feel like I've heard it a lot, that people are like, under no circumstances should, you know, you resort to physical violence. And I agree in a perfect world. But I'm also like, I don't know. I feel like if, you know, my kid was getting bullied, like physically bullied, and you were like, well, have you tried, like, talking to the administration? And, you know, we'll go together and talk to the administration and be like, hey, this isn't cool. And if they're ignoring it and not doing anything about it, don't worry, we'll kick up a fuss. We can make a YouTube video and some very incendiary tweets that would reflect poorly on them and maybe ruin their SEO for the rest of their lives. But also, I think, like, maybe if I just gave you, like, a little bit of a martial arts lesson and you popped them one in the jaw next time they were acting up, they'd probably stop. Not that I have the martial arts power. I'm just saying. Like, we could get you, like, a taekwondo lesson or something. Or what's the one where you can, like, summon a force field around you with the power of your mind? That one would be pretty sick, right? I don't know. And again, I'm not an expert. This is just my conjecture, really. But I feel like that's probably more effective than just hoping it stops. But again, I do recognize, and this is a genuine recognizance for me. They all are. Like, look, like most YouTubers and streamers, I'm dumb. Unlike some YouTubers and streamers, I acknowledge that I'm dumb. A lot of YouTubers and streamers are like, I don't understand why, like, elected officials and doctors don't listen to me. And I'm like, that's because you're a Call of Duty dude. You don't have any epidemiological data to back up what you're saying. You just have a Facebook post from your aunt. Probably should have taken that spear at heart, huh? I at least acknowledge my own idiocy here. What the heck? Okay, this is some good stuff. Like, I think if my child were being bullied, step one would be like, you know, we gotta talk to the principal. For sure. Or, you know, whoever's on duty at the daycare or whatever. You know, you talk to the person in charge and be like, surely you guys have some, like, protocols for dealing with this stuff. And then, you know, if nothing got done over that, step 2 would be, like, escalated if possible. And then step 3 would be like, all right, I'm going to teach you how to, we're going to take you to, we're going to get you a private lesson with Joe Rogan. And we're going to teach you how to put another 8-year-old into a full Nelson. And the next time they start acting up, you put them in this submission and then make them submit to you to receive mercy, and then you will have that over them for the rest of their lives. I don't know. That's just... I don't think you should ever go around, like, using that for, you know, to gain power. I don't think you should be on the playground like, you know, give me your lunch money or I'm going to put you in a full Nelson. Especially because it's such a dangerous hold. Maybe a half Nelson. But, you know, I think if somebody's, like, ruining your life, maybe that's what you need, right? I don't know. Again, I do need to acknowledge that you really shouldn't be listening to me for parenting advice, at least not yet. You know, there's probably, you know, at least Google it first. Before you go, well, like, this YouTuber said it. Look, all I'm going to say is if you listen to a YouTuber like me who plays video games and you use that as your compass for life, you're even dumber than I am. We gotta get better sources than that. I feel like the speed of the enemies in this room is making me nauseous. I think there are things that I'm a decent source / role model on. But again, with parenting, I acknowledge. Like, if I had a question about parenting, I wouldn't be like, hey, Chad, what do you... Well, I guess I have been, what do you think? But that's more for curiosity's sake. I might be like, hey, Dan, what do you think? Or alternatively, I might be like, hey, Google, show me what, you know, PhDs in early childhood development think about this subject. No, not that one. He lost his medical license. I'm talking about a real one. Okay, take me in here. With proptosis. Okay, you know what? I've decided, with or without proptosis, we'll stand slightly further away just to make sure this isn't at risk. And there we go. A good win, a solid win, and we're up to 6 in a row. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!